Okay, after the debacle of the timings that have happened in previous weeks, I'm going to make sure that I've set it and started it now. Right, that's done. It's the Daylight Midnight Show. Hello and welcome to the Daylight Midnight Show. My name is Greg and it feels like so long since I recorded one of these shows. I'll be amazed if I can remember what I'm supposed to be doing. Where's the camera? Oh, it's there. Apologies for the delays. What can I tell you? Life gets in the way. Other things happen. You've got to earn money somewhere. So it's been a while since I did this show, but I'm back. A few things have changed. I've got a new haircut since the last time we spoke. I was going to show you it. I thought it'd be nice to do a, back in the game, back in the saddle, new look, new start, new Greg, new hair. But Outfit Roulette said I had to wear this cowboy hat this week. This is quite an old hat. It's been stuffed under my bed for months. And I had to wedge it on my head to stop it springing off while I was talking, and there's some split wicker bits on this that are now sticking in my head. So I'm worried that if I pull it off to show you the new haircut, I'll start bleeding on the camera, and none of us need to see that. So I'm going to leave the cowboy hat where it is, and you can see the new haircut next week. Won't that be exciting for you? So yeah, welcome back. A strange thing happened actually after I had the haircut done, which was the day I recorded the last show, because I finished the show and then I went off and got the haircut done, which is very exciting. And for about 2 days walking around afterwards, all I could hear in my head, anytime I saw myself in a mirror or reflected in a window, I could hear about 10 of the children I went to middle school with going, haircut, haircut. And I wondered if they still do that in school, because some trends just seem to continue and some come and go. And I wonder whether you still get the haircut abuse the day after you've had it done. Because some things, that we did at school that were popular don't exist anymore. Things like getting the cane and playing kiss chase, and some things have come along that are new that weren't around when I was at school, like Pokemon and cyberbullying, and then some things have gone away and then they've come back again, like measles. So these trends continue, and we'll have a look at those in a future thing. My little bit of paper fell down. So anyway, let's crack on with the show then by revealing our wonderful word of the week, which this week is the word draff. Now this is a word I didn't know existed last time we spoke, and I found it in literature since, and I'm going to read exactly what it means. This is the definition from Collins Dictionary. The residue of husks after fermentation of the grain used in brewing. It's used as a food for cattle. Now the reason I've selected it is because I like the look of certain words. I don't care what they mean. Some words are just very aesthetically pleasing, and I just like the way draff looks written down. Normally I do this in capitals, but because I like the little Fs, the little curvy Fs, offset by, they've got the juxtaposition of the straightness of the... I'm a bit weird when it comes to words. So I've picked the word draff. I'm going to enjoy looking at it throughout the show. And I've decided that next week I'm going to do a list of my 10 favourite words. Not because of what the words mean or their usage, but just the way they look written down. So let's swing round to the door of delights then. Now I want to make a few changes to Outfit Roulette because I've worn this dressing gown a lot this series and it does get rather hot, and with the temperature going up outside I don't want to sit here sweating on camera. So I'm going to knock off the dressing gown and I'm going to replace it with something else that can go over the top. I'm going to put the word jumper because I do have several jumpers and I can select which one with which thickness depending on how hot it is when I'm recording it. I was going to replace the dress, but I think that's a nice change from some of the other stuff, even though I've had to wear the dress quite a lot. And I'm going to take glasses off. Now, this is a bit of an executive decision. My eyesight is getting worse, and it's sometimes hard to read the stuff that I've written down. So I think it should be up to me whether I want to wear glasses or not, like a fashion choice. So I'm going to replace the glasses with my jester hat. Now, I found this when I was looking for the cowboy hat, and I've got this massive jester hat, and I can't remember whether I've worn it at any point back in series 1, but I thought it'd be nice to bring that one back to wear. So that's the new look Outfit Roulette that will determine what I'm going to wear for next week's show and subsequent shows as well. And also on the Door of Delights we have what I suspect will be this week's topical limerick. So this is the story then. We're going to Wales, we're going to the county of Carmarthenshire, where a river recently turned white after a milk tanker overturned and spilled its entire contents into the water. This was a tweet from Natural Resources Wales, which reads, "An unknown quantity of milk has entered the river." I'm not going to try and pronounce it because I think I know how it's pronounced, but it's Welsh, so the pronunciation could be completely different and I don't want to get it wrong and offend anyone from Wales. So, an unknown quantity of milk has entered the river today following a road traffic accident that involved a milk tanker which had left the road. So it basically went off the road, rolled, and all the milk went in the river. They also posted a video on their social media stuff showing milky water that was cascading over a small waterfall, which in its own way I found rather beautiful. A few local people panicked. They said, is it a chemical? What's in the water? Is it safe to drink? Are our children going to get some horrible skin disease by bathing in it? They've been reassured it's fine, it's just a bit milky, but officers were attending daily to assess the impact of the spill, which had caused significant discoloration, was the quote from the Natural Resources of Wales. If I'd have been there, I'd have been tempted to just throw a load of muesli in it and have like a massive breakfast. So a quick limerick about this then. If a river near you's running white, don't let the sight give you a fright. It's not what you think, so it's still safe to drink. Pour it on your cornflakes, it's all right. Now, I can't help feeling there was some better material in there than my efforts portray, so I'm going to give that a D+. So from the Door of Delights, we swing round to the brown folder, which of course now has its own theme song. Draft is our word of the day, and it refers to dregs. Let's see what is written in the folder, that is dregs. That's a work in progress. So the brown folder, if you can't remember, is just a little thing I carry around with me most of the time, and I write little notes in it about things that I want to talk to you about. You would think this would be packed full because it's been so long since we spoke, but I fear that I haven't actually written that much in here. So first of all, mention Logan's crazy guess. Oh yes! Every so often I set my children challenges, just silly little things like guess what word I'm thinking of at the moment. And a quite bizarre one happened a couple of weeks ago. I don't know if you're familiar, this is The Division Bell by Pink Floyd, and boys and girls, this is a case of what is a CD, which is what grown-ups had before Spotify and YouTube. So this is the CD The Division Bell by Pink Floyd. I think it was released in 1994. There's a song on here which is called Keep Talking, and it's about the breakdown of communication in a relationship, but it's making a wider point about the fact that in the 90s people weren't communicating as well because we were all getting distracted by video games and mobile phones, which has got worse these days. But there's a little sort of gimmick to it that they wrote a chorus in here for Stephen Hawking to perform, because the point was there's never an excuse to not try and talk to people. Stephen Hawking had lost the use of his voice box and still managed to communicate using his electronic voice. So they used Stephen Hawking's electronic voice on the track. So when my son came in the room and I was listening to this, now bear in mind he has no idea what this CD is, he's never heard it, I haven't listened to it for about 10 years. I said to him in one of my little challenging moments, there's a guest lyricist on this track, see if you can guess who it might be. And he, you know, like most people when their dad asks them questions when they're 13, went, oh, how am I supposed to know? It could be anybody. And I said, well, I'll give you one clue, it's not a singer. They've got someone on as a guest vocalist that isn't a singer. So just think of someone that isn't a singer that probably wouldn't be on an album, and you might get it right. So he went, oh, I don't know, Stephen Hawking. And my jaw hit the floor. Now, not because this was just an amazing guess from nowhere, but because I'd started the challenge to him by saying, honestly, I said this is so hard to guess that if you get it right, I will give you £500. So I'm now indebted to my son to the tune of £500. And I should have learnt my lesson, because it's only a couple of months ago I sat and said to him, if you can give me the first name of the person that's just emailed me, I'll give you 50 quid, and he got it right. Point number 2 this week, chocolate milk with sparkling water is my new recommendation. This is one of those things where it seems great at the time, and you get excited and write it in your brown folder, and then when you revisit it, it's not that great. We had some leftover chocolate milk, we had some sparkling water, and my brain went, you've got to put those two together. It was a hot day, it was really refreshing, and I thought this is going to be my choice of drink for the spring. But believe me, the novelty has passed. And the final thing I've written down here is walking around with a biro in my cap. I'm going to show you, I'm not going to put it on because again I don't want to take the cowboy hat off and injure myself and rip off skin and have to have a skin graft. I sometimes wear this flat cap when I'm around, especially when my hair was longer because it saved me having to do anything with it. And I was wearing this nearly all day when I was out and about doing some work, and it felt weird, it really did. And when I got home I took it off and I had a biro sticking in the back of it that I'd basically been wearing in it that had rested on my head. But when I wrote that down to tell you about it, I thought, walking around with a biro in my cap, doesn't that sound like a George Formby song? So then I picked up the ukulele and I thought, you know what, I've got an ever-growing list of songs that I start and never finish. So, a George Formby tribute. I've been walking round with a biro in my cap. It didn't stop me smiling, I'm a happy happy kind of chap. And the people that I meet when I'm walking down the street, they keep staring at my feet because they're quite big. And I've got new shoes. That's a work in progress. So that's it from the brown folder, and that is basically everything I wanted to share with you on this edition, because as I said, it's been a while. I'm getting back into the swing of things. I'm also getting incredibly hot from my dressing gown. So we'll leave it there. We're going to do the new fangled new look outfit roulette then, using the randomness of the Rubik's Cube, which I will throw. We've actually run out of time, so I've run on more than I used to. See, as the weeks progress and I get back into the swing of it, we'll get quicker. So let's do this quickly then, because we're running out of time. No time to explain it. Black to start with, so next week I will be wearing my black jacket. Underneath that it will be blue, so I'll be wearing a t-shirt of my own choice. And to accessorise all that, we will have whatever is in the green column, which will be makeup. Joy. So if I remember rightly, black jacket, t-shirt and makeup. A rhyming couplet to end the show on then. A river running white in Wales was miscoloured by milk. Next week I'll reveal my favourite words, one of which is silk. And I haven't just made that up to fit the rhyme. Silk is one of my favourite words, and you'll hear the others in my top 10 this time next week. I'll see you then. Have a great 7 days.